So, the game of this week. Wait a minute, Chris.
We have no voice.
No funny voice.
No funny voice.
Do we have video?
Are we just going to go forward without a funny voice?
I guess we are today.
Oh my gosh.
Is the video just some clips of the game we played?
Yeah.
Garrett, obviously been on Game Club many times. By the way, the voice you hear with ours is Garrett. He's usually on the Faith and Whatever podcast with us, but today he is our special guest because he did not play this game that we're playing.
Well, I think it's only a fair and balanced approach to video games as somebody who has. You have to just explain to them
Fair
why
and
it might be fun.
Okay.
Not video games are fun. Don't get me wrong, but you
Not
explain
all
the
of them.
game and I go, "What? I don't. How is that fun?" And then you tell me, "Well, it actually isn't fun. Why would you play it?" Well, that's what we're here to answer.
Because we're hipsters. We're video game hipsters.
Yeah, I think so. You're like a connoisseur of fine video games, and sometimes you have to go through crappy ones
Yeah.
to find good ones.
Okay.
If you just if you went off Nintendo Power, you got to get some real,
Nintendo Power.
real honest.
You're really up to
reviews.
date on your game culture.
Is that not still a thing?
No.
How excited were you when Nintendo Power came to
Oh,
your
I
house?
loved
Oh my
Nintendo
gosh.
Power. Yeah,
was-
so
it
much.
was-
I was a subscriber almost right up until it ended. Like,
Okay.
I think I canceled my subscription maybe a year before it ended.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they release a final episode?
now
like
people watching this video are wondering.
What is Nintendo Power?
What- yeah.
It was a magazine
No,
that
they're
was
wondering what Nintendo Power has to do with this video.
absolutely nothing.
Okay.
All right, so we were actually playing Beholder.
So I thought this was Faith and Whatever, where we just like talk and make up crap that no one cares about.
True. We are an extension of the Faith and Whatever podcast, but we don't like to tell people that.
Okay.
So this is Beholder that you're watching. It's a game that you can find on Steam. It's for PC. I don't think it's come out on any consoles yet. I didn't see anything about consoles. It's let me see.
Is there any chance to get that on the big screen, or is that technically impossible?
Technically impossible.
Technically impossible. So I think there's some pretty interesting quotes about this game. Game critics said, quote, "Beholder is stressful on a moral level, but as a game, it's simple and entertaining." PopMatters.com said, "It's a thoughtful game about darkness and why sometimes we let darkness spread out of compassion and a desire for safety and comfort that simply cannot last, despite our noble intents."
Jeez.
Good quote, right? Good quote.
It's like philosophy in a game. But I like that moral choice. I mean, it's really the basis of most games.
Yeah, it's developed by Warm Lamp Games. They call it a strategy game. I think that's a very loose term. I mean, there's some kind of strategy here, but it seems more like a resource management style game that's got an interesting twist. And here's the twist. You play basically an apartment complex landlord that has been appointed by an oppressive regime government. Think like your classic 80s movie Russian government.
Well, it's supposed to be the year 1984, of course.
Oh, exactly. 1984. So Orwellian, right? But and you're we can hear that. Garrett.
Sorry.
Garrett, pay attention and
I
don't
am,
use
I
your
am.
toy.
My ADD just wants to. I need to.
By the way, Garrett just got the 3D printer gun thing.
It's Chris's Christmas present from his wife, and it's only appropriate to play with it.
Holy
when I'm here.
crap, Garrett, you made a totally legit skeleton.
Yeah, you like that little?
I've never seen anybody make anything legit with that thing.
Yeah, well, nobody can see it because we're.
Yeah, no, because
Welcome to Beholder. Welcome to Faith Whatever Game Club.
Chris, you need to look at this skeleton he made. But anyway, so Beholder, sort of resource management. You have to make choices.
What is a resource? I didn't feel that is that when you maybe are collecting lots of resources and having to figure out where they go and
Yeah, how to spend your money and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's
You have to
basically
buy surveillance equipment and
yeah okay.
yeah, whatever the numbers are, it's a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
The numbers in a resource game can be trees, it can be money, it can be surveillance, whatever, but it's a numbers game essentially.
Is
right?
Minecraft a resource game?
No, not really.
It's open, yeah.
I mean, it has resources in it, but I wouldn't say like resource management.
Because you die if you get hungry.
Right.
I guess you don't do that here.
That's more of a survival game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, in Beholder, you're a landlord who's been appointed by an oppressive regime government, and they give you imperatives on what to do, which is usually oppressive to the people of the apartment complex.
Right.
And you can move forward with those imperatives, or you can work towards subverting the government, towards taking the side of the people in the apartment complex, or you can kind of play a double agent game where you're doing both.
Just to get blackmailed money.
Right, you can like blackmail people. So like, for example, an early on mission that Chris, have you gotten to the part where you had to find the drugs? The guy that...
Yeah.
So you'll see in the gameplay that the government asked him to spy on somebody, and by spying, Chris found out that he was doing drugs. Now, Chris can make a report and send it to the government, get the guy shipped off, or alternatively, Chris could have blackmailed him and made money. That's good for your resources, right?
Well, and then the game does a thing where like you need money to pay for your own kids for stuff, and
Right.
Because
But
of course
Chris
your
is such a-
oppressive regime government's not paying you a lot of money.
I mean, Chris is such a patriot to the government. I'm sure. I know exactly what choice he did.
Now, Chris, what was what did you like and dislike about this game?
the first thing I think is the atmosphere. It's the first thing you notice, and it's just absolutely perfect. The music
the
is
art
great,
style.
the art style.
Yeah, I like the sound effects.
Yeah.
When the cars kind of drove up, it kind of gave you a clue that something was going on in the front.
Yeah, they just did such a good job with all that kind of stuff, with the feel of the game.
I couldn't hear the music very well, but I'm assuming it was kind of a dark.
Yeah, it's about what you would expect, but it's just really
Russian.
well done. And I mean, as far as dislikes, I could see maybe this feeling a bit tedious for some people. There's a lot of pointing and clicking and reading and trying to figure out, and there's a lot of ways things can go wrong. Even when you're trying to be like a good guy or something, there's still a lot of bad things that can happen to your character.
It did seem to move pretty slow. I was watching from the moment you got the imperative to spy on the guy to the moment that you successfully turned him in. You had to buy the camera, go to the room, go back to your room, go back to his room, and wait for him to get there. Make the report back in your office, fill out paperwork correctly with the actual imperative number or whatever it was called. It was 10 to 12 minutes for one.
Yeah, so I can
fairly
see that being
simple.
a little bit slower of a game than some people.
But
might
if you
wanna-
can you potentially, if you had 3 or 4 going on at once, I think
Yeah,
that
it
would
would
be
be-
kind of cool. Like
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
spying, you're waiting for the guy to get there, but you're also taking delivery of some, I don't know, and then looking for books to burn, whatever. If you did them all at once,
Yeah, but if you're looking for like an action game, then this is definitely not it.
Yeah, one Steam reviewer had a good point. The Steam reviewer said that the game is fun the first time through, but it lacks the sort of random content you need to make multiple playthroughs even a possibility. And also, he said that like a lot of the tasks like ultimately come down to like a yes, no, or a pass, fail sort of scenario. And which means that this is more about moving efficiently than like problem solving. Whereas like if it was a bit more open ended, you'd be tasked with solving the problem in your unique way. But instead, it's more about just doing the thing you're tasked to do well and make maybe just a critical decision at the end. So I think that's a pretty interesting like criticism there.
do we know how far it goes? I mean, can you begin to harbor dissidents from the government and help them start a revolution?
But
and
I don't know if you could go that far, but you do protect people, and I haven't been to the ending, but there are multiple endings.
Okay,
So
but not multiple beginnings. So if you started another gameplay, you'd have to spy on the guy with the drugs and turn him in or not turn him in
Yeah.
again. Okay.
yeah, it is fairly linear
Hmm.
in that sense.
Yeah. Actually, that's another criticism given of it is that it's a game that's trying to present to you like tough choices, but ultimately feels like you don't have really that much decision making.
Yeah, it seems like the whole point of the game is to have these choices
Right.
throughout it that changes the way the game progresses.
Yeah.
So, what do we think? Is it a $9.99 game?
Yeah, so that's what it costs, $9.99. And Garrett, in case you didn't know, the way we review these things is each of us give our personal opinion on whether a person should not buy the game at all, B, buy the game on sale, so
Yep.
get at a discount price, or it's worth its retail value, buy it at retail value right now, or if it's a really great game, go the extra mile, get the soundtrack, get DLC, go the extra mile, not just only paying the $9.99 or whatever the
Is
price.
that 4? Is that don't buy
Those are-
it, sale, buy it, go all in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we vote on these things at the end. And Chris, I'm going to let you pick first, especially since you have probably the weightiest opinion here. Yeah, with having experienced the game the most.
This for me is kind of in between the wait for the sale and go ahead and go full price, because at full price you get the soundtrack right now.
Okay.
Which I really enjoyed the soundtrack, and that kind of tips me more towards just go ahead and pay the $9.99.
Mm.
But be aware of what you're getting. This isn't a run and gun. This isn't anything fast. This is a little bit slower, and it makes you think a little bit about how you want to behave and choices you want to make.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna say sharp thing, but it's not based on so much what I think others should do, but knowing myself. Having played this game, seen this game, playing with you, Chris, I know immediately that this is the game I put on my wish list, and I wait for that ding to come up where it tells me it's on sale.
Yeah.
So if that's what I'm gonna do, then I better
I
give
think
that
that's
advice.
fair too, because
Yeah.
it depends a lot on what you're looking for.
Right. I like resource management games to a certain extent, but I often wait for them to come on sale. It's not something I need to jump right out and buy. So I can be patient for this one, I think, and I'm going to give that advice.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to fall in line somewhere along that as well. I mean, it looks like I would be fun to see where it goes. And $9.99 is, I mean, it's less than a movie. Well, here in Southern California, go watch a movie for a couple hours. I would be sad if there were multiple endings, but to get there, I had to play the fairly slow introduction, which really actually just kind of shows you how the gameplay works.
The tutorial.
Yeah, I would rather.
You can skip the tutorial the second time through.
Okay. It did seem like from the not knowing that it was very linear. I was expecting that the gameplay would diverge from the very first objective. Since that's not the case, I would definitely think you might just want to get it on sale. Because there's games that I've paid $9 for, like Faster Than Light, that I can play over and over again.
Huh. Faster. That's a resource management game for sure.
I love that game.
Yeah. So okay, well, we had noticed on Steam that this was part of a collection called Bad Time Stories bundle, and so we decided to play the whole bundle, and so this is the first of the 3, Beholder. Next, we're gonna play This War of Mine, and after that, we'll play Orwell to round it out. Now you can let us go there, Chris. Right. Find our information in the description, all the likes and shares and subscribes there too. See you later.
See ya.